So simplify it once again. So we'll have what? 12 into derivative of t plus 3 into derivative of t square minus 2 into derivative of t cube. Okay. So derivative of t is 1. Derivative of t square is 2t. Derivative of t cube is 3t square. Right? So remember the formula. Formula was what? D dx of x to the power n equals to n x to the power n minus 1. Should I use Kurcham? We are using that one. So 12 plus 60 minus 60 square. This is the velocity at the time t. So we can say, therefore, velocity of the car at the start will be equal to what? It will be equal to 12 plus 6 into 0 minus 6 into 0 square. This much meter per second. Start means t equal to 0. So the answer will be 12 meter per second. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next one. Next je problem ta ache. So all these questions are already from the previous year papers. ঠিক আছে? যেগুলো already JEE means বা NEET এসছে, we are discussing on that. Which kind of questions have been asked already. Okay, this much is done.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Achha. Now the next question that we have. Next question that we have is, a particle moves along a straight line. A particle moves along a straight line and at a time t, its position is given by x equal to 40 plus 12t minus t cube meter, where t is in seconds. The question is, how long would the particle, how long would the particle move before coming to rest? ঠিক আছে? How long would the particle move before coming to rest? Right? So how long it should be, how far actually as per the option. So options are, anyway, first option is 16 meter. Second option is 24 meter. Option C is 40 meter, and option D is 56 meter. So question is, how long would the particle move? Actually, it should be how far. You can write the question as how far also, because options are in meter, distance we have to find out. So how far would the particle move before coming to rest? That is our question. Options are 16 meter, 24 meter, 40 meter, and 56 meter. ঠিক আছে? So how to find it out? কি find করতে হবে এখানে? Tell me. How to find it out? So very simple. See, we have to find कि how far will it move before coming to rest. तो हमें क्या find करना पड़ेगा सबसे पहले कि when does it come to rest? Now for finding out when does it come to rest, we have to find its velocity. Right? So velocity is how much? We know that the value of velocity is, right? What is the meaning of velocity? Velocity means we know dx dt. তাহলে কি হবে? Derivative of, we will get derivative of 40 plus 12t minus t cube, right? So what do we get? Derivative of 40 plus 12 is constant, derivative of t minus derivative of t cube. So derivative of 40 कितना होगा? 0 होगा because it is constant. 12 into derivative of t is 1. Derivative of t cube is 3t square. So we get 12 minus 3t square. That means we can say the body comes to rest. Therefore, the body comes to rest at t if we can say v will be equal to 0. That means 12 minus 3t square equals to 0, which means 3t square equals to 12, but t square equals to 4. So automatically we can say t will be equal to 2 seconds. Yes or no? T square equal to 4 means t will be plus minus 2, but obviously negative time to hobe na. ঠিক আছে? So obviously we will be saying that t will be equal to 2 seconds. Right? Therefore, we can say the distance covered before coming to rest, the distance covered before coming to rest, right, will be equal to what? It will be simply, you can say, integration of v dt from 0 to 2. ঠিক আছে? বা you can already put it in the value of x also, x at 2 minus x at 0 একই ব্যাপার, because we can understand ki from 0 to 2 the velocity will be positive and after that it will be negative. It comes to rest, then it changes direction and goes further. Kintu obviously we have to find out ki before coming to rest how far it moves. So from 0 to 2 only we will take. That means we can say that simply it will be integration of 12 minus 3t square from 0 to 2, or you can directly put in the value of x also. Again, I'm telling একই জিনিস আসবে. So it will be 12 integration of dt from 0 to 2 minus 3 integration of t square dt from 0 to 2. তার মানে we will get 12 into the integration of dt is t, 2 minus 0. Integration of t square is t cube by 3 in meter. So what do we get? 12 to is 24. ঠিক আছে? Minus, simplify this. So 3 will get cancelled out, and then solve it, you'll get the result. Right? হ্যালো,
Yes, sir.
ঠিক আছে? So in this question we have given that particle moves along a straight line and its position is given by x, right? So এই জন্য as we know ki distance covered will be what, change in position, so that is why we are finding out the change in position 16 meter. ठीक है? But suppose if it was given ki distance covered by the particle is this much, okay, then directly we have to put the value of ts time t as 2 second in the expression for x. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Acha. So any confusion so far?
No, sir.
Okay. So the next one, let's take the next problem. Next problem is ki a bus travels the first one third distance between two stops at a speed of 10 kilometer per hour. The next one third at 20 kilometer per hour, and the last one third at 60 kilometer per hour. The average speed of the bus is the average speed of the bus is option A 9 kilometer per hour, option B 16 kilometer per hour, option C 18 kilometer per hour, option D 48 kilometer per hour. ঠিক আছে? তো in this kind of question how we solve it? Very simple. যখন এই টাইপের কোয়েশ্চেন আসবে, ডিস্টেন্স গিভেন नहीं है तो क्या करना है? Just take the total distance as something. Say A and B are the points, initial and final, and let's take the total distance as x kilometer. Unit you have to choose as per the unit of speed given. যদি মিটারে থাকে তাহলে মিটার per second. If the speeds are given in meter per second, assume the distance in meter. अगर किलोमीटर per hour में तो assume it in kilometer anyway. So first one third means up to the distance x by 3 kilometer. The object was moving at 10 kilometer per hour. Let's say that for covering this point, say A to C means one third distance. Let's assume that it took a time t1. So what will be the time t1? So we know that time will be speed was distance by time. So time will be distance by speed. So x by 3 was the distance and speed was 10. So it will be in hour. So x by 30 hour. Second, next one third distance, say from C to D, again it has covered x by 3 kilometers and it was moving at 20 kilometer per hour. Let's assume that the time taken was t2. So t2 कितना होगा? X by 3 is the distance and speed is 20, this much r. So x by 60 r. And suppose the last one third distance, ठीक है, last one third distance, say up to the point B, ठीक है, last one third distance up to the point D, which is B, which is also x by 3 kilometers. Suppose usko time laga t3. So what will be the value of t3 then? So obviously t3 will be equal to distance is again x by 3 and speed is 60 kilometer per hour, right? Last month उसने travel किया 60 kilometer per hour पे. So this will be x by 3 into 60 r. So it will be x by 180 r. So now I want to find out average speed. And you know that average speed is given by what? Total distance covered. Total distance covered divided by total time taken. So just put कर दो, total distance covered is how much? X by 3 plus x by 3 plus x by 3. मतलब x kilometer obviously. And total distance, total time taken was कितना? X by 30 plus x by 60 plus x by 180. This much r. तो इसको simplify कर लो. तो x divided by LCM of 30, 60, 180 is obviously 180. तो ये हो जाएगा 6x, ये हो जाएगा 3x. This will be x kilometer per hour. तो कितना आ गया? 180 will go up. तो 180x by 69, 110x. Kilometer per hour. So the answer will be 18 kilometer per, right? So that was our option number C. Clear हुआ? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So any confusion till this part?
No, sir.
Okay. Acha. Now let's come to some graphical type of questions which are based on graphs. So the first question which I'm taking up, so the question is ki the displacement time graph, the displacement time graph of a moving particle is shown ahead. The question क्या है कि the the instantaneous velocity of the particle will be negative at the point. तो यहाँ पे ग्राफ is given और ग्राफ में कुछ पॉइंट्स शो किया हुआ है हमें चेक करना है कि किस पॉइंट पे इंस्टैंटेनियस वेलोसिटी विल बी नेगेटिव and what is the graph given like. Let us try to draw it. So here on the x-axis we are plotting the time, on the y-axis we are plotting displacement, and the graph is something like this. तो यहाँ पे एक पॉइंट है C, यहाँ पे एक पॉइंट है which is D. Here we have a point E, and lastly here we have a point F. तो हमें निकालना है कि किस पॉइंट पे वेलोसिटी नेगेटिव है. ऑप्शंस आर obviously E, second option is F, third option is D, and fourth option is C. तो किस पॉइंट पे वेलोसिटी नेगेटिव होगा. अब कैसे पता चलेगा कि वेलोसिटी नेगेटिव कहाँ पे होगा. तो फॉर दिस द वर्किंग रूल यू नो ऑलरेडी वी हैव डिस्कस्ड अ फ्यू मोमेंट्स बैक कि वेलोसिटी इज इक्वल टू व्हाट. इट इज इक्वल टू स्लोप of displacement time या position time, any one, right? Slope of displacement time graph या slope of tangent to the displacement या position time graph, जैसे भी बोलो एक ही बात है. एंड में पता है कि कभी भी किसी भी कर्व का या इफ यू वांट टू ड्रॉ, इफ इट इज अ कर्व देन वी हैव टू फाइंड द स्लोप ऑफ टेंजेंट. तो पॉइंट सी पे जो टेंजेंट टू द कर्व है इट इज अपवर्ड राइजिंग. पॉइंट डी पे जो है वो फ्लैट है, मतलब वेलोसिटी जीरो है. अब ओनली यू कैन सी एट पॉइंट ई द टेंजेंट इज कमिंग डाउन. तो ऑटोमेटिकली वी कैन से दैट स्लोप ऑफ द ग्राफ, स्लोप ऑफ द ग्राफ or tangent to the graph is negative at point E. So therefore we can say that velocity is negative at the point E. So that is our option number A. Is that clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
यहाँ तक क्लियर हुआ शायन?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. तो दिस वाज बेस्ड ऑन द कंसेप्ट ऑफ स्लोप. अब कभी कभी स्लोप वाला क्वेश्चन में एंगल्स में आल्सो बी आस्क्ड. जैसे एक ये वाला क्वेश्चन हम लोग ऑलरेडी मैं इस क्लास में बता चुका हूँ, ये वाला टाइप का क्वेश्चन. लेट्स अगेन ट्राई इट आउट. तो क्वेश्चन क्या है कि द डिस्प्लेसमेंट टाइम ग्राफ्स, द डिस्प्लेसमेंट टाइम ग्राफ्स of two moving particles make angles of make angles of 30 degree and 45 degree with the time axis, with the time axis, the ratio of their velocities, the ratio of their velocities will be, option A is √3:2, option B 1:1, option C 1:2, and option D is 1:√3. So this is a question from NEET 2022. and graph is also given. So here we are plotting displacement, here we are plotting time, एंड दो ग्राफ यहाँ पे ड्रॉ किया हुआ है. ठीक है, वन इज मेकिंग एन एंगल ऑफ 30 डिग्री, द अदर वन इज मेकिंग एन एंगल ऑफ 45 डिग्री. तो दोनों का हमें रेशियो वेलोसिटीज निकालना है. तो व्हाट विल बी द रेशियो? व्हाट विल बी द रेशियो? अब देखो, कभी भी क्वेश्चन में अगर रेशियो निकालने बोलेगा और अगर तुम्हें ये पता नहीं चल रहा है कि कौन सा इज टू कौन सा निकालना है, ठीक है, तो ऑलवेज फॉलो द ऑर्डर. जैसे यहाँ पे पहला 30 डिग्री दिया हुआ है, दूसरा 45 डिग्री दिया हुआ है, तो विल फाइंड द वेलोसिटी ऑफ 30 डिग्री वाला ऑब्जेक्ट बाई 45 डिग्री वाला ऑब्जेक्ट. ठीक है, इज दैट क्लियर? तो सिंपल वी नो दैट वेलोसिटी will be equal to slope of displacement time या position time, जो भी है ग्राफ. ठीक है, एंड यू नो दैट फॉर अ स्ट्रेट लाइन, स्लोप मतलब क्या हुआ? tan ऑफ द एंगल मेड बाय द लाइन विद द एक्स एक्सिस. तो वी कैन से दैट वेलोसिटी का रेशियो विल बी इक्वल टू व्हाट? tan ऑफ 30 डिग्री divided by tan of 45 degree. So tan 30 is 1 by root 3 and tan 45 is 1. So the answer will be 1 is to root 3. That is option number D. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
तो यहाँ तक कोई कंफ्यूजन है किसी को तो बोल सकते हो.
No, sir.
Okay, so all these questions were simply based on the concept of distance, displacement, and the basics of motion. So now let's come to the next point, जो इस चैप्टर का हम लोग का नेक्स्ट पॉइंट है. That next point was regarding acceleration. ठीक है, तो now we will come to certain questions which are based on acceleration. तो before that we will just summarize the points. एक बार summarize कर लेते हैं कि what was acceleration. Acceleration is nothing but the ratio of change in velocity. It is nothing but the ratio of change in velocity to time taken, right? And we know कि अगर हमने ratio of total change in velocity by change in time निकाला, like suppose v2 minus v1 by t2 minus t1. v2 क्या है? velocity at time t2. v1 क्या है? velocity at time t1. तो this will give us average acceleration. ठीक है, on the other hand अगर हमारा time interval tends to 0 हुआ, if I find limit delta t tends to 0 delta v by delta t, तो इसको हम लोग लिखते हैं what? dv dt which is equal to a, एंड इसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं? इंस्टैंटेनियस एक्सेलरेशन. एक्सेलरेशन एट एनी पर्टिकुलर मोमेंट. अब हम लोग को जो याद रखना है कि इफ द acceleration is constant, if the acceleration is constant in magnitude and direction, is constant in magnitude and direction, then the body is said to be in, then the body is said to be in uniformly accelerated motion. ठीक है, but remember that any form of accelerated motion, चाहे वो यूनिफॉर्मली एक्सेलरेटेड हो और ना हो, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, इज ऑलवेज नॉन यूनिफॉर्म मोशन, क्योंकि वेलोसिटी चेंज कर रहा है। तो कोई भी फॉर्म ऑफ यूनिफॉर्म मोशन हमें सॉरी एक्सेलरेटेड मोशन हमेशा ही नॉन यूनिफॉर्म मोशन, राइट। The next important point from this part was कि we can say that dv will be equal to a dt, yani we can say that net change in velocity of the object within the interval, within the टाइम इंटरवल से t1 टू t2 अगर हमें निकालना है, इज गिवन बाय। तो देखो वो जो dv था, इट वाज चेंज इन वेलोसिटी ओवर स्मॉल टाइम dt, तो ऐसे सारे को हमें ऐड करना पड़ेगा, एंड दैट एडिशन विल बिकम इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ a dt from t1 to t2, that will be equal to the total change in velocity, which is say v2 minus v1. And we know that कभी भी अगर integration करते हैं within limits, whenever we do definite integration we get area under the graph, so this will be equal to area under acceleration time graph. तो remember जिस तरीके से displacement is given by area under velocity time graph, वैसे ही change in velocity is given by area under acceleration time graph. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
अच्छा, दूसरा हम लोग को जो याद रखना है, नेक्स्ट पॉइंट, कि when we are writing a as dv dt, by chain rule we can also write it as dv dx multiplied by dx dt, ठीक है। and we know that dx dt is velocity, तो a can be written as v dv dx। तो अगर हमें किसी इक्वेशन में वेलोसिटी और डिस्प्लेसमेंट को रिलेट करना है विथ एक्सेलरेशन, वी कैन यूज दिस इक्वेशन a इक्वल टू v dv dx, ठीक है। अच्छा, नेक्स्ट व्हाट वी कैन रिमेंबर दैट व्हेन angle between angle between direction of acceleration and velocity, मतलब अगर डायरेक्शन ऑफ मोशन के साथ एक्सेलरेशन का डायरेक्शन का एंगल इज 180 डिग्री, then the object then the object is said to be in retarded motion, or we can say, or it is having retardation, right? In such case, in such case, magnitude of velocity, or what is called speed, right? Magnitude of velocity at an instant is called speed of at that instant, right? Decreases with time, decreases with time। यानी अगर किसी प्रॉब्लम में वेलोसिटी और एक्सेलरेशन का साइन अपोजिट है, वन इज प्लस वन इज माइनस, if the angle between them is 180 degree, then it is said to be retardation, and इस केस में magnitude of velocity time के साथ साथ घटेगा, जबकि एंगल अगर दोनों के बीच में जीरो होगा, if both are positive or both are negative, then the speed or magnitude of velocity will increase with time, and we will say it is a normal case of acceleration, ठीक है। So these are the important points regarding acceleration. So let's see some problems based on acceleration, ठीक है। उससे पहले एक और हम लोग को जो चीज ध्यान में रखना होगा कि we know that acceleration was dv dt, ठीक है, and v is nothing but dx dt, v is nothing but dx dt. So we are doing derivative two times. So acceleration is also written as d square x dt square. Acceleration is given by double derivative of position or displacement. मतलब अगर मुझे x से a निकालना है तो दो बार डेरिवेटिव करना पड़ेगा. एक बार डेरिवेटिव निकालने के बाद जो रिजल्ट आया फिर से उसका डेरिवेटिव करना पड़ेगा. Then only we will get the acceleration. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Finished till this part?
Yes, sir.
So let's take a simple question based on this. तो जो क्वेश्चन है हम लोगों का, so the question is motion of a particle is given by motion of a particle is given by the equation x equal to 3t cube plus 7t square plus 14t plus 8 meter. तो हमें क्या निकालना है कि वैल्यू ऑफ एक्सेलरेशन, the value of acceleration at t equal to 1 second is, first option है 10 meter per second square, second option is 32 meter per second square, third option is 23 meter per second square, and हमारा fourth option है 16 meter per second square. तो देखो यहाँ पे s मतलब डिस्प्लेसमेंट या पोजीशन दिया हुआ है, हमें टाइम दिया हुआ है. We have to find out the acceleration. So as I said, first you have to calculate velocity which is ds dt. डायरेक्ट acceleration नहीं निकाल सकते, तो डेरिवेटिव करो. तो 3 कांस्टेंट रहेगा, डेरिवेटिव ऑफ टी क्यूब इज 3t स्क्वायर. उसके बाद 7 कांस्टेंट रहेगा, डेरिवेटिव ऑफ टी स्क्वायर इज 2t प्लस 14 कांस्टेंट रहेगा, डेरिवेटिव ऑफ टी इज 1 एंड डेरिवेटिव ऑफ 8 इज 0. तो v कितना आ जाएगा, 9t स्क्वायर plus 14t plus 14, and then acceleration is dv dt. तो कितना आ जाएगा, 9 constant derivative of t square is 2t, 14 constant derivative of t is 1, derivative of 14 is 0, तो कितना आ गया 18t plus 14. Therefore acceleration at 1 second कितना होगा, 18 into 1 plus 14, that means 32 meter per second square. तो दिस वाज द लास्ट प्रॉब्लम फॉर टुडे. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट क्लास में हम लोग यहाँ से कंटिन्यू करेंगे. इज दिस अंडरस्टूड?
Yes, sir.
Any problem so far?